For years, we've seen Bitcoin maximalists look down at things like XRP and Ripple, who works with the financial system. They're like, hey, that's not what crypto's about, right? We got to fight against the system, not incorporate ourselves within it. It was interesting. We just had Plan B. He's a crypto analyst, Bitcoin maximalist. He had his famous stock to flow model that eventually broke down. And anyway, he announced recently that he took all of his Bitcoin and he moved it into Bitcoin ETFs. So enrolling himself in the financial system. A lot of people are going against him. Now, I want to talk about this subject because there's some important risks that we all need to keep in mind that may not be so apparent, that aren't talked about enough, and why I think he's actually disclosing this. Let's take a look at what he said, because this affects everyone out there and you have to be aware of it. So we see disclosure. I've transferred my Bitcoin to ETFs. And yes, I know not your keys, not your crypto, but you know what? He says it's more convenient, it's hassle free, it gives him peace of mind. I guess I'm not a maxi anymore. Why is he telling us this? Is it really any of our business how he manages his crypto investment? Well, not really. I think he's sending this message out for a reason. Understand this. People think, well, Plan B, no one knows who he is. He's just this hat with these red eyes and a name. I had someone, and they went into a Verizon wireless store with their picture on the ID, but all of my information. He told them, hey, we need to transfer service to this new phone because I lost my phone. And the reason you're not safe is these platforms you use leak your information. In this case, it was X. X leaked, probably 90% of the users, especially the verified users, your name, your address, all this kind of stuff, email, they have it all. Um, and so someone probably knows who Plan B is. There's a list somewhere out there. You can look it up, Plan B, and you can see what his real name is, his address, all this stuff, I suspect. Further, even if you're not on X, I get calls all the time. Hey, this is Coinbase. We need to secure your account, all this kind of stuff. Like likely Coinbase at some point in time leaked my info. Now, maybe it's just my contact information, but who knows? Maybe it is also my transaction history. They can see what you bought and sold and what wallets maybe you moved it to. You just never know. If you use any of these online platforms, assume that your personal data has been leaked and bad people out there know what you have. And with crypto, it's extra dangerous, right? Because, before they leave the robbery, they could shoot the value to China, to Russia, to Iran, to some foreign country halfway around the world where you will never get it back, even if you catch them, right? And so this is a great type of asset to try to steal. And so you have Plan B, very famous. People know of him, probably has quite a bit of money. I think he's putting this out there so people know, look, come clip my fingertips, burn me with cigarettes, whatever. You're not getting anything from me because, just like your stocks, your bonds, or your money in the bank, it just doesn't work like that. You'll never get that value under duress. And so he's trying to let people know I'm not a good target. Of course, this is very uncrypto, but doesn't mean he still can't use Bitcoin for its intended purpose to do transactions, to buy things in his daily life. He can still use it as a tool, but for his investment, for personal safety, he's probably doing this. So it's just something to think about out there. Don't assume you are so private. We had someone here in the XRP community I could talk about a little bit, Patrick Young. He made this, public, but, he'd be on X. He'd post pictures of, his fancy alcohols or his Cuban cigars, different things like that. But he was known for being around crypto for a long time. Amazon comes up to his house. They open the door, and guess what? It ain't Amazon. Home invasion's underway. They were held captive for about 3 days. Now, if you're like Patrick Young and you're a gangster to the highest degree, they're breaking his arms with wrenches, burning him with cigarettes, doing all sorts of torture. And he's like, do what you got to do. You ain't getting my crypto. Yeah, if you're like that, to that level, then this life is probably for you and you would never think about using an ETF. But for some of your investments, or at least for other people, ETFs are going to be a great avenue to just get strictly investment exposure to this asset class. It's not the same as holding the crypto directly. It's not, you're not your own bank. Governments can seize your value. All the things that come with the traditional system come with using ETFs. But you also get some different securities. And this is why people do this to a great degree and will continue to do so. Again, everyone's got to figure out, where they want to place their investment, hold their value. That's fine. But even if you are going to self-custody, understand those risks are out there. Someone probably knows you, knows what crypto you have, and you're a target. just the way these online systems are. They are always leaking information and they don't tell you about it. X didn't come right out and say, hey, everyone, people know your name, your address, all this stuff. Be careful. Like they didn't tell you that. And when they did acknowledge it, they kind of, watered it down. Like, oh, a little bit of information leaked out there. No, like everything leaked out of everyone's. People should know this right away so you can safeguard yourself. But it's just best to assume at all times someone knows who you are and what you hold, because it's probably the case. And beyond that, don't post stuff online, even under aliases that you think are private. Don't talk about in the real world, how much money you have in crypto, because what may not seem significant to you, when you think about it from that perspective, that before I leave the crime scene, I can zip that money somewhere else where no one will ever get it. A small amount of money can still be, a great target to get and zip out of there. And you just have to be aware of this stuff. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.